Is this gonna work or what? Okay, I see. Excellent. Just alive. Oh, good. There looks like it's there. Okay. The second stream right away. Yeah, YouTube decided to, give me a heart attack with VSeeFace. I gotta turn something off here. There. Turn that back off. Oh, evil stuck in... staying still again. Gotta bring VSeeFace back up. For me to see it. Okay, come on. You book me for everything's going busted at once. VSeeFace decided to freeze up. Right when I started... Oh, there she goes. I can... put it right back here onto that. I'd rather have, what's its face? Alright, so... YouTube has changed up the way they do their stream keys. Instead of giving us big, long, numerical numbers thingy, they... you know, type it in yourself, which gets me a little worried. Without specifically, unique password. Though somebody kind of guesses as they might be able to get into my strings and do... Anyway, I'm a minute into this. I didn't want to take too long. End of lice being in a couple of weeks. A few weeks. I intended to do this on Thanksgiving, but... that didn't happen. I don't know that they're shook. I'm looking at the YouTube feed. I'm not looking really at OBS. Ah, there. Yeah. Probably not necessary. Anyway, I meant to do it on Thanksgiving and didn't, and then I meant to do it again the next weekend, and then so I said, well, I better get to it now. I don't want to forget to do live streaming. I've got bulkheads of better things to do. Anyway, well, see, like, last weekend I was up in the attic, looking for a few things. I was looking for a tape that I had as a kid. I know I saw it back in the 90s. It's one that has a song about a bad haircut. I'll give him that some other time. I know it was definitely not Tim Wilson or Weird Al or Tim Cavanaugh or John Blaine Billy or Bob and Tom. Not any of those guys did this song. Anyway, I was also looking for maybe hopefully some newspaper articles about stuff that happened a long time ago, but haven't had any luck with that. But anyway, so what I want to get into is that, especially like during the Thanksgiving weekend, the weekend before that, me doing my trips all across Western United States. Yes, yeah, I should be looking at the one on OBS, not the one, like, that's on YouTube right now. Because the one on YouTube's like a few seconds behind it. I don't know if that one will go. But anyway, talk about suffering the consequences. Consequences of one's own actions, right here. Well, I have a job that takes me on many different travels over the week, and I have, like, a nice little dedicated route, and I don't feel any real need to discuss that on this channel, but I will drop a hint that is, you know where to look. You will see April and her sisters and Bonnie have camoing, making guest appearances on this channel. Anyway, so over and over as I talk about suffering the consequences, cameras moved a little bit. Cheapo, like $10 camera from Fred Meyer. I move around. I can't move my fit hands in front of the camera, so April just kind of keeps her hands down to her side. It kind of a thing. Anyway, so it's cases of, oh hey, our Sunday, let's pick up the paperwork at about 5 p.m. in the afternoon. No, let's not pick it up at 8 a.m. and get it delivered by 8 a.m. the next morning or something like that. No, let's pick it up at 5 and then deliver it at like 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then, of course, there's no getting there right. This one particular customer, it's like Abel stopped moving around. I had to bring up VSeeFace again. That usually reactivates to motion. Wrist bar. Yeah, at least, you know, she still moves her mouth to the microphone I have pinned to my chest. Hello? Hello? Am I gonna have to restart VSeeFace? Yeah, Shift R. she stopped moving, so we're gonna have to kinda like dump that out and bring it back up. Let's see. You'll disappear for a few seconds. Yeah, yo. There, and I'm gonna have to... That was pretty quick. I might need to dump out again. Free! Hey, it's free. Get what you paid for. Okay, hey, Courtney. There. I mean, I need to back up a little bit for the counter to start work. There it goes. Now she's working again. Yeah. What are we just gonna look like yet? Anyway, so... What? Friend, turn these things off. Like anybody that's gonna watch this. Anyway, oh my ass. Problem is, I got the camera on a box right in front of me. Oh, top screen. Top screen has all this stuff on there. Yeah, you clumps over to the side there. Oh, look, she quit moving again. Ah, VSeeFace, help me out here. Am I too close to the camera? Okay, she'll start moving again here in a second. I need this other in-friend view up and going. So, I've been trying to say now for like 20 minutes. Is that, I've been suffering from people who are giving me shitty bookings, who give me shitty appointments. It's like, I could have picked this paperwork up, almost in the wrong word, and had it delivered first thing in the morning, but no, and then I have to sit for like a couple hours as they look through the paperwork and get their approval, and by that time, it is too late for my bosses to book me some new paperwork, some new customers to go see. So I have to overnight there, and fortunately my company vehicle I can stretch out in and sleep in overnight and keep warm and get good mileage and stuff like that, and spend the rest of the night watching YouTube videos on my phone and not watching Night Hunters, which I started watching approximately 6 months ago, and I finally finished up last month. And then later on that week, the same crap happened. It got even worse. Not only did it happen again, it got worse. See, is that once again the... Okay, there it is. Yes. All these, I'm seeing like 2 3 Apples and 2 different background screens here, because I have to keep the thing going here, I hope. See. And then, of course, there's the people on the inside of the area I need to go to. People in buildings way in the back there, which I'm not going to show, not the people here. People way in the back here who say, oh no, we're not going to look at your paperwork a couple hours early. No, you got to come here at the exact right time that we set for, that somebody else set for you. Oh no. And, well, when I went to go pick up the paper on a Wednesday, I noticed on my app, that I have to use 10 freaking minutes already to do this. I only plan on this being 10 minutes. Anyway, I looked at the app and was, oh wait, this has me scheduled to pick up the paperwork on Thursday to deliver on Friday. So I go over to the customer app and say, hey, what's your guys say? Cause I already checked in, like about 10 minutes earlier. And he said, yeah, you're on schedule to come pick up her paperwork. We'll have it ready here in a short while. A couple hours later. And is he and what is it? Do you guys have any info on when I'm supposed to deliver this? Because this isn't supposed to be there Friday. It says you're supposed to be tomorrow, Thursday. So I gotta go, okay, I call up the broker. Which if I have Yeah, somebody way off somewhere on the other side of the country. Telling them, I'm begging them and pleading them, hey, could you call the customer and ask them, hey, what is your paperwork supposed to be due? Because, we got customer number 1 here saying it's due tomorrow, and yeah, your app says it's due on Friday. Yeah, and they go, well, we'll get back to you. An hour later, I'm calling the broker back and asking, hey, I called practically twice now. What is going on? And they premix, and then, the broker says, oh, well, do what the customer tells you to do. Yeah, I just gotta, I just randomly moved here just to make sure Abel's not froze out. Yeah. Where's the music? The music quit on me. It's supposed to loop. I've been having this going. Oh, there it goes. There. I don't know. I have it turned down pretty low so I don't know if anybody else can hear it. Uh-oh. April's mouth. Oh, there she goes. Anyway. So, the broker tells me to do what customer number 1 says. Meanwhile, I am begging and pleading with them to call customer number 2 and confirm. And by the way, there was a phone number on the paperwork that I was given by customer number 1. I was calling that number up and nobody would pick up. It kept sending me to a machine, please pick up so we can confirm. And the broker definitely has better contact information than I do, so I wound up calling up my boss and say, hey boss, I need you to give me an order. And I laid out the situation to him, and he said, go ahead and go up there. If you wind up having to overnight, we'll take care of you. One left. So, I go there overnight, and I overnight when I get there like Thursday morning. And I have to sit and wait for a whole bunch of hours before I can go in. I actually wound up going in about an hour early. And the security guards over in the shack. Oh. The key, I'm on this one, so if I use shift, no. There. So the guys in the shack here. The fake thief flipping around real quick on YouTube. There. Oh, they call up the people inside a building way in the back here. And they said, oh, it's due Friday. And yeah, I am pretty dang ticked off at this point. Because I could have gone home. I could have spent the night at the house, been in the bed. Could have played some games, could have played some Time Spinner, some Mega Man Maker. But no, I had to spend a couple of nights in a rest area. And I do that because I want to save on fuel. Oh, April stopped working again. The mouse still works, but she doesn't move around. Sometimes it takes a little while for I'm hoping this comes back. Yeah. Maybe better off if I was just using... Oh, there, she's back. We set. Yeah, so I wound up having to spend another night. I didn't go to a hotel because I just didn't want to spend the money. I was saving up for a new graphics card, which I do have. And boss was not happy because they had plans. They had planned for me to be done delivering paperwork by that time so I can go to another customer up the road and get more paperwork. And it wound up being one of those days where I had to spend the night at that arrest area again and then go up the road and the next day, and this wound up being rather not happily. I try not to curse here, and you do too much. And doesn't blame Mega Man Maker. But this, and you know, and it wound up one of those broker crapped on us again, and wound up being like almost like a 7 p.m. appointment. So I'm like, come on! And I wound up getting back home because I have to pick up paperwork there, then I have to deliver this paperwork back home. And that wound up being like sometime in the afternoon on Saturday. I managed to barely get back home in time for a 34-hour break. And since I'm engaging in interstate commerce outside of like 150 air miles or something like that, I'm not too sure what the role is. I should know, but I have to use a log and log all my driving times and stuff like that. By the way, if you know where to look, you know what my real job is, and you get to hear my real voice. I can't make her... The eyebrows don't move up and down. Anyway, like I said, and... Now, we noticed in the title there's this thing called... Mostly... Anyway, and each and every instance, everybody who was at the gate, who was at a guard shack, who was at an office outside there, you know, like right here, they were wonderful. They were great. They all had good attitudes. They all helped me out as much as they could. They understood, and I sure as hell did not grouch at them one bit. Because I said they're doing their jobs. And even up to this day, I still don't have any problem. Mostly. I'll get to that in a second. Yeah, I'm like 16 minutes, 17 minutes into this, and we're finally get to the mostly here. And so I get along with them most of the time. And, well, it's pretty rare that I don't. Every once in a while, I'll have an issue with somebody in the building way in the back there. And that's because they are a unpleasant individual. On other services, I will get a little bit more in depth of my two feelings about this. Now, she blinking? Yeah. I just saw her blink. Now we get to the mostly. What's happened, the other day, out of Thursday. You see, I was ready to go. The people inside the building didn't do too bad a job, but I was still there a lot longer than I needed to be to get this paperwork. And when it came time for me and my vehicle to get out of there, I wound up having to sit inside the compound for an extra half an hour because somebody had parked right where I needed to drive. And here's the bad part, is they saw me driving to the gate. They saw the security guards leaving my vehicle. My headlights were on. I just turned them on. And all this guy had to do was wait 10 seconds for me to leave. No, it was all about him. He could not wait. He had to get to that gate. I had to sit and wait, and then he walked back to his vehicle and just sat down. Would not move. If he needed to get in, he could have gotten in because I was far enough back. I was far enough away from the gate. In order for him to get in, I couldn't get out because to get a left turn, I needed to go around him, but there was somebody parked to the left. How shall we put this? Some overly calcified cranium individual parked himself to the left. And if I tried to take off to the right, I would risk puncturing a tire on a curb. I would do a curb check. I have punctured tires on curves. I don't want to do that again. I am not taking that risk. Especially when it's that late at night, and I would have to wait on somebody to come out to me to fix the tire. And that would take a few hours, and I don't have a few hours because my time got cut off because these people took too long. People inside the building in the back, way off in the back there, took a long time to give me my paperwork. He said I'm getting a no bad here. And then on top of that, one of the main roadways out of town was closed, and then a major freeway. Let's see. Is it show up there? I can't. About having to move. I think I see it. Come on. Make up your mind. Everybody has a different way of doing. Yeah. There was some mudslides on this major interstate. Closing. Now, I could have gone around, but the problem is when you have going through town or through this other town, guess what's going to happen? It's going to be a lot heavy traffic. I'm going to be spending about an extra 30-40 minutes. Instead of maybe going directly through the state to the south. So I wound up actually having to stop well short of getting home, and I wound up having to be late. And I wound up doing that about over 45 minutes later because some... Come on. Hello? There. Oh, so annoying because somebody had to park. And on top of that, it got even longer because the guy who was parked to the left decided to start backing up. Okay. Once again, I turn my headlights on and I start pulling forward. Because if he moves, I can get out. I'll have to go away. I don't want to go, but I can still get out. Oh, no! No, 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 no! He can't wait a few seconds for me to get out. He has to block the entire freaking road! Talk about overly calcified cranium there. And he walks all the way to the guard shaft and way the hell back here, up to here, and then back inside, and then goes around the guy. Oh, please, nobody else come in, nobody else come in. No. As I drive by the guy who was parked in my way for so long, who couldn't push forward, do anything else, he just had to sit there. I made sure to keep my hands on the wheel, and my windows up and radio going. But I did let my feelings get kind of known about him as I drove by. So anyway, wow, 22 minutes. I cannot tell a 5-minute story within 5 minutes now, can I? Okay, so to sum up. A bunch of people, enduring's way far up in the back there are doing their jobs. A bunch of people in other states are not doing their jobs, and we are all suffering the consequences, and I like to give thanks to security guards inside these buildings out here who are guarding gates and stuff like that. By the way, as a teaser for a future story, I know a little bit about guarding this road. I've done it a few times in real life. And if I try to kayfabe a story with April, it is entirely possible. If anybody paid attention to, I don't know if I ever had people wear her Class A's, you might notice that there is a particular medal on it. Would be from this location. Anyway, I think that's enough for now. Any other things to pick up? Yeah, I am doing some deep dives, trying to find some any type of news articles on the time when our company delivered a Christmas tree. And I have been looking up things about Annette Island, Alaska, from when I was there in real life, and I'm going to try and save it to when April could have been there. However, April's time in the army is a lot different than the real me. Anything else? I think that's it. think I'm done for the day, done for this. I'm gonna go to another service where I'll be a little bit more meaty-mouthed. Thank you, and good morning.